Hello, ladies, and welcome. I am so excited to be discussing pretty privilege with you today. So, without further ado, let's get right into the video. What is pretty privilege? How can you attain it? Do you have pretty privilege already? Can anyone have it? And is pretty privilege real? Because there's a lot of controversy around if pretty privilege is a real thing or not. And we're going to talk about a little bit of that in this video. So let's get right into it. So the clear reality is physical attraction is a social commodity with personal and professional value attached to it. So this is seen in environments like when you're in high school and then when you start working, and in your work environment, you notice there's always going to be employees that are favored more. They may have more privileges, they may have more access to certain things, they may be closer to the higher ups in the office, whatever it may be. They have some kind of special privileges, and oftentimes these people who have these privileges and in these environments, they are more attractive people. So you will find that the more attractive people, the people who are perceived as conventionally attractive in that certain environment will receive special privileges. So what is pretty privilege? There's so many different definitions for it, and I think what really sums it up is pretty privilege bestows upon individuals a range of social, professional, and personal advantages based solely on their physical attractiveness. Now, this definition I got from a Forbes article. However, I do agree with this, but pretty privilege is being able to capitalize on your attractiveness. However, it is not solely just being attractive that allows you to be able to get privileges and be able to accept those privileges and, work your way up that ladder, because anyone can be attractive or make themselves look attractive, and then they still may not be offered certain privileges. So there's certain traits like charisma and, confidence, leadership, and other traits that contribute to getting those privileges. So it's not solely being attractive. However, being attractive is the main ingredient in getting that pretty privilege. The rebuttal argument to pretty privilege underscores the need to recognize and value the diversity of human experiences beyond physical attractiveness. So, alongside people asking if pretty privilege is a real thing and really trying to debunk the idea that pretty privilege is a real thing, these people will completely ignore the fact that attractive people can have bad experiences. It doesn't matter how attractive or unattractive someone is, their feelings are not invalid. Their experiences, their trauma, it's not any less important, especially not to them. You don't have to take the responsibility of valuing and upholding, everyone else's issues. Mind your business, let people have their things and respect them about it. There's no need to shame people. Beauty can lead to a positive halo effect. So I know if you are a pretty girl and you have looked into the pretty privilege kind of what do you call it? I don't know what to call it. I'm just gonna call it the pretty privilege portal. If you've been there, then you know that the girls experience, a lot of them experience this halo effect, and this halo effect places societally attractive people on a pedestal where they are consistently expected to be more intelligent and thought to be better leaders. So, like I said with the previously about the receiving privileges for pretty privilege. It's not just being pretty or attractive that is going to grant you that pretty privilege. There are also other traits that can really bring those opportunities on the table for you and then give you the courage to actually accept them. So, and it comes with time. It's not just like, unless you are extremely drop dead stupid gorgeous and you don't have to open your mouth, most likely you really won't have to say much, because a lot of people will already be so nice to you and want to help you out when you're pretty. That's what I've experienced. I've experienced really not even having to say much or speak up too often, and people will be running to help me, or people will be assisting me with doing my work and everything. So I really appreciate that. And when I started experiencing that, that was really crazy for me, y'all. It felt like I was in some kind of weird realm where people were just, I don't know. Things were very different from what they were months before, you know? So with this halo effect, the idea of the halo effect is that individuals who look better are thought to be healthier or have more positive social life. So when you look more attractive and you have a nice body, you are perceived to be healthier. You know, I have a nice body. I work out often and I built my body. I started working out a year and a half ago, and really that just, I transformed my body to the shape that I wanted it to be, and I ended up now, the routines that I worked with gave me a slim waist. I have a nice size butt, all that. Nice back, nice legs. Very blessed with that. And when people see you and you're slim, you're fit, maybe you have a Coke bottle shape or whatever, I'm just basing this off of my own experience. People will perceive you to be more healthy. They will start asking, what is your workout routine? Even if you don't even post pictures of you going to the gym, people might ask you, what's your workout routine? People may want to know what it is that you eat. They want to know how you get a small waist, all that. So also, people who are more attractive have more positive social life. So for me, when I would go into spaces with like-minded people, or, maybe we aren't so like-minded, but I find those people interesting, I would automatically click with these people. I'm very social. However, I am, I'm more on the introvert side, but I do like to make connections with people that I find really interesting. So I have good experience with making connections with people and making friends. I've often been in friend groups my whole life, mostly been in friend groups. It feels kind of weird now that I'm an adult to be, I've separated from a lot of people, and I'm used to having so many friends and being in friend groups and all that. But as you get older, you start getting busy and you have your own dreams and your own goals to look forward to, and so do your friends and the people around you. So I'm enjoying that time. But after I graduated high school and I was working, I started experiencing pretty privilege, and this is where that factor of a good social life comes in, because I was experiencing people helping me do my work, all managers giving me stuff, people giving me free stuff. It just felt so unreal to me. Like, my life felt like a movie at that point. And there were people coming up to me, wanting to talk to me all the time, wanting to know, things about me, wanting to have conversations with me, wanting to tell me things about themselves. And I really appreciated that. I really like making people feel heard and seen, especially if they're in my life, because I know a lot of times that's something that people don't experience. And even if they do, you still deserve to be heard and seen, because I'm respectful, So anyway, my social life has definitely improved drastically And as I look better, as I dress up and I'm looking good, my hair is nice, maybe I have some nice makeup on, people want to talk to me more. I'm better at holding conversation because I look good, so all of this just plays into having a good social life. Also, another thing, the halo effect also gives people who are attractive this what is it called? What do you call it? People who are more attractive are seen as more trustworthy. And I don't know about this one because this really depends. There's a lot of people who will look at a attractive woman or attractive man and they will be like, oh no, I know they are sneaky. I know that they are up to no good. There's so many things that people can say about someone who is attractive. Now, if you come off as nice, your first impression is sweet, smiles, then people will think you are more trustworthy. If you are not intimidating, if you are not too nervous, you don't give them any questionable signs, then they will think you're trustworthy off of your first impression. And this could go far. If you give them that whole, you actually play into that trustworthy idea because you are attractive, it will most likely work out for you. Also, attractive people are perceived to have a greater personality. So, like I was saying before, many times before, I said that in order to really capitalize on this pretty privilege, in order to really reap the benefits of your pretty privilege, you will need to attain some of these characteristics, some character traits that will help you in really, moving up that ladder. So, your personality, who you are, how do you come off to people, how do you represent yourself, what do you stand for, are you a leader, are you resilient, are you optimistic, are you creative, are you passionate, are you smart? There's so many different things. Are you helpful, are you a great listener? Can you teach people? So attractive people are also held up to standards and they're placed on this pedestal where they are expected to be a certain way. So people will expect you to be healthy, intelligent, confident, charismatic, maybe trustworthy, or the complete opposite. They will expect you to have a good social life. They will expect you to be smart, or the complete opposite, So if you grew up attractive in school, you most likely experienced a smoother high school experience, or it was easier for you to attain good social skills and gain confidence in your school environment. Because let's just be real, okay? When we were in school, all the way from elementary up until high school, okay, all the way up until senior year, maybe it slows down in senior year because people are really, now it's like people are more focused on their own selves when they become senior. In your senior year, it's like it's time for you to start separating. So everyone they have this weird feelings, and everything's gonna come to an end. All your friends are gonna go. So it's very weird in your senior year. But before that, it's like everyone is so crazy. Everyone lets all their intrusive thoughts win, and they say what they want to. Now, this is just an example. In high school, you may experience like being close with a teacher, and a teacher is really nice to you, or the attractive kid is always able to get away with everything, and people are like, how do they get away with that, and they just brush it off. Or the attractive kid, oftentimes they may not do any of their work, or they may be a star student. So there's different variations here, because you can get away with both being attractive and play into both ends. With the bad end, if you decide to flop, it's like people have more hope for you because you're attractive. They're like, okay, look, I know you can do it. simply because you're hot. So, pretty privilege can also be a launch pad for success. Research shows that attractive people are more likely to be hired, promoted, and receive higher income salaries. One of the cons of pretty privilege, though, pretty privilege may create an academic or workplace dynamic that fosters discrimination and resentment. Like I said previously, you will experience and you will see pretty privilege in your work environment as well as other places. But in the work environment, this is a lot more intense. One, because you have to be here often, especially if this is a full-time job for you or part-time. You have to be here and you have to experience this or see it. When someone in the work environment has pretty privilege, they get to reap benefits like being close to management and other higher ups, which has a lot of benefits. Come on, guys. I don't really have to go over the benefits. You already know what getting close with the managers is going to do and the higher ups is going to do for you. So that, and also being close with the other employees. And often in workplaces, all of the employees are not favorable of each other. There may be some employees who have secret animosity or whatever, but if you don't play into sides and you stay neutral and you're cool with almost everyone, including the higher ups, okay, because they're most important here. They have the most power. So being an attractive person, you would find yourself easily going for the person with the most power because you hold a lot of power already being attractive. So this can create resentment and feelings of discrimination because you're obviously experiencing some privilege here in the workplace because you're close to the management, the higher ups, and y'all may have conversations that other employees don't have. Y'all may have share certain things. Well, there's different levels to your relationship. Y'all obviously have a different relationship than other employees have with the higher ups. So that can definitely lead to discrimination and resentment in the workplace. And also being attractive, and when everyone else knows you are attractive and there's someone in the workplace who is not so attractive or not as favored as you in the workplace, this means that people will side with you more because you are more attractive and more favored in the workplace. This is not, hey, these are not my rules, but this could lead to discrimination and resentment. You see, obviously, how this could happen. Being pretty is amazing, and we see that you can reap benefits like experiencing privileges in your workplace, in different environments. Now, there's plenty of cons. There's always cons to everything. Nothing is just 100% great, if only. As much as I love pretty privilege and I love reaping the benefits of being attractive and receiving a lot of attention and people, wanting to talk to me for no reason at all, like people just calling my name or calling at me to just talk to me and be like, hey, I didn't really have anything to say. I just wanted to get some of your attention. Like, I find it so disrespectful that people make it so clear that they're just wasting your time, especially when you're pretty, because they just want to look at you for a few seconds or maybe a few minutes or maybe for a few hours if they could. I'm sure they would. I've actually had someone and they kept staring at me and it made me so uncomfy. I'm like, y'all, please, someone can save me because I don't know what's going on here. He was just staring me in my face and they were chow. Anyway, with that being said, one of the cons of being really attractive is losing some of your friends. You may lose a lot of friends. I experienced when I was younger losing a lot of friends because their boyfriends would be trying to talk to me or whatever, and I tell them and they would get upset, like, okay girl, I'm just looking out for you, but anyway. And that's not always the reason why, but like that was oftentimes, like, girls always made things about boys, and personally I did not care that much. I didn't care about telling them. It was never that serious with me. But also, as I got older, you will experience a lot of people wanting to be your friend simply because you are attractive. And that's amazing, because why wouldn't you want attractive friends? Like, who wouldn't want to be your friend? You're pretty. Like, duh. But like, when you experience relationships with people who want to be your friend solely because of your attractiveness, it really does not feel that good, and they will treat you just like some kind of object or statue. And also with pretty privilege, you can experience your friends being jealous of the privilege that you have. So if your friends notice that you get a lot of attention when y'all go outside, if y'all go to the clubs together, or y'all go out to eat somewhere or whatever, and they see that a lot of people are coming up to you or giving you attention, maybe you get some free things outside, maybe, and for me, I would experience men coming up to me, but I would be like, you have to take care of me and my friends tonight if you're gonna do that. They could be jealous of the privilege that you receive. They could be jealous of the attention that you get. Maybe they don't experience that as much. So you definitely have to be aware of things like that. Another drawback of pretty privilege is the way pretty women are perceived and treated by a lot of people. We can be perceived as dumb. They could perceive you as being a bitch. Excuse my language, but they could perceive you as being a slut or a whore or, any of those other derogatory terms. People could attach these certain terms to you without even knowing you. They could not even have seen you in person and still be riding your coattail and be like, oh yeah, she's definitely a slut. Yeah, and looks like it for sure. Yeah, and they don't even know you at all. But anyway, with that being said, I just want to say, ladies, be sure that you have other ways to validate yourself beyond your looks, beyond the surface, beyond your physical appearance. Always take care of yourself as much as you can. However, what is on the inside is very important and is going to play a major role in what comes on the outside. So make sure you're taking care of yourself, truly, your mental health and your spiritual health. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. And being attractive does not equate to an easy life. I do want to be sure to say that I am not at all trying to imply that being pretty is going to give you an easy life, but life is easier and opportunities become more accessible when you are attractive. So if you're attractive, maybe this video helped you, or if you're not, maybe this video helped you too, and you know a little bit more about pretty privilege and you could use it to help you out in some way. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.